As a horror fan, I'm always willing to try out a new game, and there's one called Dying Reborn now out on the PlayStation 4. But does this game end up scaring up a good time, or should it just sleep with the fishes? Dying Reborn is a first-person perspective adventure puzzle game where you're playing as a character who is kidnapped and thrown in a weird madman's dungeon and are trying to get out, along with trying to save your girlfriend, who was also assumingly kidnapped by the same madman. The game all has a very Saw feel to it, with your communication with the main character and the madman through different TVs, old-style TVs, throughout the course of the game. There's also little bits of information that you'll gather through memos that will help you sometimes solve puzzles, but also give you a little bit more information of everything that's kind of going on. All the game takes place within this one area, but it's broken up into multiple sections that each have a slightly different look to them, so at least it changes up in that regard. You'll be going from kind of an insane asylum, hospital, surgery-like setting into a bar, restaurant-like setting, and then even into an office, and finally into a bedroom later on. The game is mostly done with inventory-style puzzles where you open up a box, find an object, and then put that object into a place, and then you'll get another object, or have to input a code of some sort, whether it be into a briefcase, into a door lock, or into some kind of keypad. Since the game is broken up into a few different sections, the objects that you find are mostly used in that particular section. In fact, a lot of times you'll find an object and then literally right next to it, you'll be using said object. There are a few that end up carrying over between sections, so if you have something left in your inventory at the end of a section, don't worry about using it. You'll probably need it for either the next one or maybe one a little bit later on in the game. Of course, the game's atmosphere is very dark, and the graphics reflect that. It doesn't do anything particular that makes it really shine through with either its locations or with the graphics, and the game has a hard time just doing what it's trying to do, where it's struggling. Even just turning the camera and moving the character around will cause the game to chug. One of the other big issues I have with the game was the saving. It doesn't end up auto-saving between sections. In fact, one time I just backed out to the main menu, not exit the game, just main menu, because I wanted to reset everything and make sure I didn't miss an object as I thought I had missed something, but it had erased my save. No progress had been made at that point. I had to start the game over from the very beginning, which was of course quite frustrating, but thankfully the game is pretty short, so it wasn't really hard to get back to where I was. The game in total will probably take you roughly an hour and a half to 3 hours at most, and that's without using a guide, of course. Dying Reborn is available on PlayStation 4 for $19.99. There's also a VR version of the game, which may be a little bit more interesting, and at least there's another VR title available for the PlayStation VR, though that version does not include a full trophy list. It doesn't have the platinum, but the $20 version that I play through does have a platinum, and it's a very easy one to get, taking you with a guide about an hour at most in order to get that plat. Overall, with its technical issues, okay story at best, some pretty poor voice acting, and just really doesn't do anything to really make it memorable, Dying Reborn is just kinda eh. In the end, with that being said though, I'm going to be giving the game a 4 out of 10. But anyway guys, that's going to wrap up this review. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course I hope you enjoyed.